Loki episode 6 of season 1 finale is out and can't wait to share a few things from the series whose excitement only got bigger and bigger with each passing episode. Here's a list of top 10 things. Loki and SLYVIE have a final chat before entering the castle shown at the end of the previous episode, as they just don't know what is it they're gonna face. The door opens only to reveal Miss Minutes, who knows everything, and she's with the Timekeeper right from the beginning and has been executing his orders. Miss Minutes gives Loki and SLYVIE options to stay together without getting erased from any timeline or to face consequences of going against the Timekeeper. Loki and SLYVIE reject the offer and want to face the Timekeeper. SLYVIE, on meeting Timekeeper, attempts to pull her sword, but in vain, as he knows each and every move of them. In the year 2018, B-15 intentionally gets into a room where RAVONNA asks them what are they doing in her school, and TVA agent chasing B-15 is shocked to know she's not Judge RENSLAYER. B-15 says to him there's a lot to talk about, revealing RAVONNA too is a variant. RAVONNA at TVA, on the other hand, leaves Mobius and is her own search for free will and exits TVA. Timekeeper briefs about himself to Loki and SLYVIE. He says he is known by many names, including He Who Remains. His first variant from 31st century discovers their multiverse. Each version of him come to know about this, also meet and greet for some time in peace, but few bad versions of himself want to conquer the world, so war begins, each of them trying to save and conquer. He Who Remains finds out a way, separates his timeline using a creature he's found who's unaffected with time and space, ALOITH, and turns it into his executioner, thus settling all his various versions' wars and establishing TVA for greater good. He Who Remains comes to know the future and gives two options to Loki and SLYVIE, either to take over from him and rule TVA together, or to kill him and wait for a great chaos. Loki and SLYVIE have different opinions. Loki takes He Who Remains side, whereas SLYVIE disagrees, so they start fighting each other. SLYVIE gives a final finale kiss to Loki and sends him back to TVA using He Who Remains Tempad. SLYVIE kills He Who Remains, and as mentioned by him, chaos begins. Branches of timelines start popping up from each timeline. Loki at TVA runs to Mobius and tells him a mistake is done. He's met the Timekeeper, he knows everything, and something bigger and worse is on its way, and we need to prepare. To his shock, Mobius doesn't recognize him and only addresses him as an analyst at TVA. The episode ends with Loki looking at the huge statue of He Who Remains at TVA instead of Timekeeper's statue, which he saw when he first came to TVA in episode 1, thus revealing this as something different altogether from what we have seen. Loki will return in season 2. Do mention your thoughts.